Let's start with Jennifer Crumbley, the mother of the Oxford high school shooter who killed 4 students, back on the stand today, this time being cross-examined by the prosecution. Jennifer Crumbley, first parent in America to be criminally charged for a mass shooting committed by her child. She faces 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, which means prosecutors have to prove she caused their deaths, that it was reasonably foreseeable that he would do this, which is not easy legally. Her son's already pled guilty, sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Prosecutors questioned her on the purchase of the gun her son used 4 days before the murders.
And you don't deny that the 6 hour 9mm handgun was in fact the murder weapon?
I don't deny that.
And you also don't deny that that gun was gifted by you and your husband to your son on November the 26th?
Describe gifted.
How about when you posted on Instagram his new Christmas gift?
Correct. And I explained yesterday that it was for him to use at the shooting range. We didn't just hand him a gun.
She pointed the finger at her husband for purchasing and storing the gun, and prosecutors questioned why she trusted her son with it in the first place.
Will you agree with me that owning a firearm involves a great deal of responsibility and trust?
I do.
Okay. And you entrusted this responsibility to your husband, James?
I did.
Well, you didn't trust him to get out of bed on time.
Correct.
But this is the person you entrusted with a deadly weapon.
I did.
Prosecutors have alleged that unlike many other mass shootings, this was foreseeable. Their son reporting hallucinations he was experiencing to his parents, cries for help over his claims of their house being haunted. But Jennifer Crumbley said she didn't know about that and never thought her son needed therapy.
And you don't deny that you never once took him to see a therapist or counselor?
No, I did not.
You did not.
All right, we got a lot more of what happened in court, but joining me now, Geraldo Rivera, the veteran award-winning journalist, the dean of covering crime. Rachel Juarez, the judge on TV's Hot Bench, an experienced litigator, and Jesse Weber, an attorney and anchor for the Law and Crime Network. He's also a NewsNation legal contributor. Geraldo, did she hold up on cross-examination?
I thought that they proved beyond the reasonable doubt that she was a horrible mother and grotesquely negligent. Whether that amounts to manslaughter, though, as you point out very correctly, remains to be seen. I don't know. I don't know. It's almost as if they gave him the weapon and they set loose this tinderbox that was going to explode inevitably. They thought he was going to use the gun on himself. That's what I think. And they thought that, parents worry, is my child so strung out that they're going to use a gun and take their lives? But I don't know. I don't know if they got to manslaughter, Dan. Tell you the truth, it's a heavy lift, and being a bad mom is not a felony punishable by 20 years in prison.
Rachel, how'd she do?
Look, I think she did a good job of maintaining the same demeanor on cross-examination that she did on direct examination. But I was really kind of expecting more punches from the prosecution. And I think at the end of the day, I agree with Geraldo. I think they proved beyond any doubt that she was a terrible and probably absent parent, in contrast to what was said yesterday about her being a helicopter mom. But it's a really tough legal burden to translate that into manslaughter.
Jesse, let me play a piece of sound. This is more of the cross-examination, because this is a critical question, right? There's this drawing that he makes the day of the murders. Parents are called into school. There's a debate over whether it's the school's responsibility or it's the parents' responsibility. He's got the gun in there. He's talking about blood everywhere. He's saying, help me.
That's the gun they purchased, by the way.
Right.
Not randomly. That's the gun they bought.
That is the gun they purchased in that picture, right? So she was now asked about being called into school. This is number 2. Let's listen.
Have you ever been called to the school on an immediate basis before?
No.
Have you been told that your son had suicidal ideation before?
I was never told he had suicidal ideation before.
Okay, that's your testimony. But you've never been called to the school once for a meeting, I need to see you now.
No.
Correct? Okay. So even before you had made it to the school, you had told your boss when you were coming back.
Correct.
You had already put a limit on that meeting.
Not necessarily.
Well, you said, I'll be back in about an hour,
Okay.
right? That's your words.
About an hour.
Okay, those were your words.
Correct.
Geraldo, that image is the strongest piece of evidence that the prosecutors have. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.